Right, in the maths tables, this is what it looks like. This is what the right angle triangle formula looks like. So you've got the sine of A, and it's equal to, what do you think?
A.
What over what? It's equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So they have A over C written. Because A is the opposite, isn't it? And C is the hypotenuse. So that's the way they have it written. So you can look at the maths formula. A is the opposite over the hypotenuse. All right. And the cos of A, what have they got? What have they written? They've written no, adjacent over hypotenuse. They've got B over C. B is the adjacent ADJ, and C is the hypotenuse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is what you've got to do, alright? Tan of the angle A is opposite over adjacent. So they have A over B written down. So A, and you just replace that. So A is the opposite, isn't it? And B is the adjacent. Now you've got your formulas ready. Okay? Alright, so first question. Oh, I'll leave A in there. Okay, so let's say your first question looks like this. So that's 3, 4, 5. Your first question is, what is the sine of A? Equal to. Alright, so you go to your formula, you go, oh right, sine of A is opposite over hypotenuse. So what's the sine of A looking at the triangle?
3 over 5.
3 over 5, correct. That's it. If they ask you what is the sine of A, that's it, done. From the triangle, what is the cos of A? 4 over 5. From the triangle, what is the tan of A?
3 over 4.
3 over 4. Is that easy?
Yes.
Alright. Okay. So that's one way they could ask you a question. Here's another way. So if I rub out... Okay, so if I give you two sides, find the angle A. Looking up. It's important to keep looking. Now what did I say you do on the calculator if you're finding the angle? What button do you press? Second function. So sine inverse, cos inverse, tan inverse. So you go sine inverse, and you put in the angle. You put in the measurements. Or cos inverse, put in the measurements. Or tan inverse, and you put in your measurements. I'll show you that now in a second. Right, so we'll start off with what sides do we have? We have the opposite and the hypotenuse. Keep looking up. So which formula is that? Sine. So what do we fill in? We fill in the opposite, which is on top, and the hypotenuse on the bottom. And you key it into your calculator. Alright, so here you go. Looking up. Shift, which is our second function. Sine. And hit the fraction button. And you put in 3 over 5. Bracket. Equals. And we get 36.86. Alright. Of the angle. Alright. Okay, so let's say you had... Alright, so that side is 4. We have the adjacent and the hypotenuse, and we want to find the angle. What formula do we use?
Cos.
We use the cos if we want to find the angle. And we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse. Adjacent goes on top, hypotenuse, which is 5, goes on the bottom. same idea. You go shift, second function, cos, and then fraction 4/5 bracket. Same. 36.86. And what's the last scenario? If they give you the opposite and the adjacent? Opposite and adjacent. Opposite is 3, adjacent is 4, and you can get the angle. So second function tan, turn it on, second function. The battery's going. Right, so if I go second function tan and type in 3/4, I will get 36.86. Same. Okay.